Let's see if this works. I'll give it a second and then we'll find out. I probably still have one setting wrong. Looking at it. There we go. I can't stream with 15,000 frames. That was still in a recording setting. But regardless of that, I welcome you guys to the next round of the DRC World Championship. And with that, to the last few rounds we have. Considering this is now the final sprint to the line. I actually get the last things open. We now have Austria, USA, Saudi Arabia, and Brazil as the final stretch towards the line. We had 2 breaks. The first break, there was a stream of a special event. The second break, there was nothing. We all had a little bit of enjoyment of resting and enjoying summer. But now, we're back with the action. And also, we're back with probably the last time, or rather the last round we have before F126 comes out. Obviously it's still F125 season, but it still has something remarkable when we can say, oh yeah, after this round there'll be the 26 DLC right around the corner, and we all have something to look forward to. But for now, for today, we are focusing our eyes on me coughing. No, on, if I saw it correctly, 90 drivers going around the A1 ring, Red Bull ring, or Österreich ring, however you want to say it. But looking at the numbers, yeah, I think we do have actually 19 people here today, which is phenomenal for the final stretch of the season. And then we did certainly have races with fewer numbers. Hopefully everybody remembers that telemetry is a thing. If not, then not, sadly. But yeah, it is the final stretch. We're only 4 races away from probably crowning a French car driver's champion. It is raining! And it's raining in quali. We're actually 20 drivers. We are a full grid. And with that, probably looking at the quali, the things we have stated right here are all not important. Full throttle 79% is complete and utter humbug when we see the rain drizzling down here. We can also see rain, 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 and then light clouds with about 3 minutes of this qualifying session remaining. So we might have a really interesting end to this. Let's get this out of the way. And with all of this pretty much useless, let's jump over to our also known other screen, which shows us how quali will play out. Also, sorry, I'm slightly unprepared. I played F1 Manager too much. Alrighty. And here we are. Hopefully that was the right button. We have one person, I think, without telemetry, and that's the Haas in 18th. No, we have the Williams in 8th, also not having telemetry. I don't know if this is King James again for like the 8th time this season or not. What we also do have is Alexander Leclerc, who has not all of his telemetry enabled, but a good chunk of it. The same issue with a Kick Sauber, who has his telemetry enabled, but not his name. It's Cherry. And the Williams is a dragon looking through the overlay. Cherry had quite the impressive debut 2 weeks ago. See if she can repeat that feat here in Austria with the rain that's there. Or not. It doesn't look that rainy anymore. The rain we had in the pit lane a few minutes ago was certainly a lot heavier. Here we go. A Kick Sauber across the line. That's the fastest lap. 1:14.5. Here we have Ref. From the sectors looks a lot faster. 2 purples. We have Retro 2 seconds down on Cherry. And we have Ref about a second up. 0.6 of a second. His teammate. The championship leader. The guy who's been winning everything this season. Left and right. Whether it's per luck or by his driving. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. That's a McLaren. Retro half a second down. Thunder. You know, Masquerader moves up into second. It tends faster than Raid. But looking at Thunder, 7/10 down. So he's around his teammate. He is around the time Justin put in. Question is, can he beat him? Or can he not? Ah, that's a really bad last corner. That's a 8th. Keep me right. Still somehow in the battle up ahead. Been a lone wolf a lot of the season until Pockets was signed. And he does have a purple second sector. Moves up to second, but just barely misses out. Here we go. Gotta find the correct number. The Red Bull of RD Gamer. I Heart meanwhile on 7th, Juno on 8th. RD was up to 4th. Who did we miss so far? Prototype. Down in 19th right now. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. There's a horse. A has parked. Horse. Seem to have gotten away nicely. Prototype. 3.5 tenths faster than the second sector time of Ref, who is on provisional pole. But the rain, of course, also gets less and less as longer as the session is progressing. I can't talk. Kimirai 113.6. Proto 113.6 as well. Jeez, that's close. Masquerader 113.329. Seppi. Back once again in the Ferrari. Mishko 113.1. Spooderman. So far, the savior of past the season until Cherry came and scored. First try for the team. Of course, everything's shaping up so far already for season 15, which then will be in the new game, and this beautiful green car will turn into Audi. But for now, Spooderman moving up into 15th. And Ref speeding up. 2 purple sectors. Right can't match. Stuck in 2nd. Cherry moves up to 8th. And Ref is fighting the Alpine around. This short track. 1:12.5. That's half a second. Prototype, only a 10th down. Oh, there's an Alpine in the pit entry. It's out of the way though. What can Prototype do? A 100th of a second! Puts the McLaren driver for now onto pole. Hi. Currently all the way down in 14th. Had a fantastic start to the season, but that pace seemed to have declined a little bit. Has Seppi ahead of him. Got a little bit of a slipstream from him. Good eye from the Ferrari reserve. 4/10 is the gap between iHeart and the pole time. There are a lot of yellow flags. Some of them seem to be for people letting others by though, so we're all good for now. iHeart across the line up to 8th. Give me right. So far we have Alexander Leclerc and Gab Reaper without times. Kimi Rai 300th of a second. And he's in the gravel. Well, that scratches that time. Kimi Rai in the gravel trap. Mishko. Purple middle sector. So far, when the Estons were fast, the only people who beat them were themselves. Let's see if they can finally break that curse. At least for quali for now. Prototype 112.2 Improves on his time. Can Mishka do anything about it? Yes, he can. 1:12.1. Juno moves up to 9th. Here we have Mark Crawford. Giving us a little bit of a guest star today. In the Williams. Does he improve? No. Here we have raid. Purple, middle sector. We see it on the minimap. Only the last two turns to navigate for him. 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. And it's only getting drier and drier out on track. Right across the line. 1:12.0. Going to the other Alpine. Ref is gonna be the first one in the 111s. Mark Crawford again looking at improvement. Across the line. 8th. Ahead of the two Red Bulls. Mishko. Currently in 3rd. 1/10 down. Goes into the pits. Is he trying to do something, maybe? Pockets. Currently in 15th. That's a gravel trap, though. For the Racing Bulls driver. Towards the line. Was up to 12th. Right across the line. Should go faster again. Barely does not. Here we have Mark Crawford again. We're still waiting for people to try the slicks though. Ref is not one of them. So we're going back to Mark Crawford for now. Oh yeah, Cherry did turn on her telemetry. Thank you. He cancels his lap. Keep me right. Moves up to 3rd. Prototype. Oh, there's a Haas in the way, and that's just, at this point, it's just Haas things. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. It was. Ref. Across the line. Starts his last flying lap. Raid is a good chunk further with that. Prototype invalidates. Mishko invalidates. Can Raid do anything about his teammate getting pole? So far, it looks like he can. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Up to effect a magnificent race. 20 people. But so far, we still have to figure out which of those 20 people will start from the front spot of the grid. Raid backs out of it. Raid backs out. Else cried a parent. Kimirai. Nearly 2/10 faster than the Alpines. RD Gamer up in 4th. Pockets up to 10th. Cherry 13th. 14th. Masquerade to 111.5. The battle for pole is not over yet. Kimirai still crossing the line. Goes fastest. 111.3. Juno entering the pits. And Gap Reaper only doing a warm-up lap. And Leclerc driving on full wets. Okay. Alrighty, this does conclude an amazing qualifying session. Kimirai starts this race on pole. Masquerader in second. Ref in third. The second row belonging to the Alpines. RD Gamer 5th. Mishko 6th. Proto 7th. Justin 8th. Juno in 9th. And Pockets closes out the top 10. Mark Crawford on his comeback or guest start. I don't know what it exactly is. In 11th. iHeart in 12th. Dragon on his debut in 13th. Cherry in 14th, Zeppi in his second outing in 15th, Thunder in 16th, Retro in 17th, Spooderman in 18th, Leclerc in 19th, and Gap Reaper without a time and only a few outlaps, or I think only one outlap exactly, in 20th. So for now, what you guys are probably aware, what I'll do is I'll quickly get a little bit of fresh air, the best fresh air I can get, and then I will see you guys once the race starts. And here we are, guys, in the formation lap for the 36 laps around the Red Bull Ring. Real quick, we'll go through the tires. Keep around pole, mediums. Masquerader in second, also on mediums. Same goes for Ref, Raid, RD Gamer is the first one on hards. I'm turning colorblind. Mishko is also on hards. Prototype is on hards but already disqualified. Justin is in 8th on hards. Juno 9th, trying the mediums again. Pockets on hards. Mark Crawford on the medium tires. So is iHeart and the other Williams. And there is Cherry in the gravel. Ay. 14th place for the Sweet. Starting on hards. Trying a new strategy to warm them up. This race is a 2-stop. I think a 1-stop will be really quite rough. But going through the rest of the tires, we have Seppi in 15th on hards. Thunder on mediums. Retro on hards. Spooderman on mediums. Leclerc and Gab Reaper, who will be the last one to roll onto the grid on hard tires. Now he's lined up. And now we will look to the front of the grid. The last stretch of season 14 is now on the way, and it's a good start from Kimi Ray, but also from Masquerader. The two Alpines going relatively with no attacking pact. RD in 5th, Mishko 6th. Prototype had a little bit of a battle, obviously starting on the hards, and now the first time this long stretch down towards turn 3. There already was a collision in the back, Mercedes is involved, but now we see Ref trying to get Masquerader for second. The two McLarens coming close together in the back. Running down to turn 4 now. Ref going for the lead, but so is Masquerader. 3 right, going into turn 4, and there's contact with the best end for the Aston Martin. Kimi Räikkönen still has to defend from the Alpine behind him and seems to lose out. The McLaren still side by side with each other. There's a yellow flag in sector 2 as well. There has been another collision, and I think Spooderman is involved because Cherry's already at the back of the grid. Virtual safety car. Because Cherry is stuck and is now disqualified. Cherry is stuck on the outside of inside technically, of turn 3. And we'll be awaiting the restart here while we see both Haas in the pits. Virtual safety car ending. Receive the team radio message. And Thunder has speeding during the VSC and a drive-through penalty. It's not getting better for the guy who's already down in 16th and already has been involved in a few minor collisions. But now we're back underway here. We'll see all the way down in 11th. iHeart hunting down a Racing Bull. Of course, DRS will get activated now when we cross the line. And now that's where we want to see iHeart with the fastest lap. Obviously, the further you're down, the more green flag of the circuit you have. But now the wings open up. Kimi Rai really late on the brakes, loses out to Raid. Stays behind. How big can this train get? And how long until the tires slowly start giving in? Justin against Juno. The Mercedes making the pass on the McLaren. I also do apologize for the small graphic bugs we seem to have around the rear wings of the drivers. I don't exactly know what's causing it, so I do apologize for it if it starts getting annoying slightly. But Ref is now there against Masquerader. Down the inside in turn 3. The Alpine in blue and pink against the Aston Martin in British Racing green. It's quite optimistic going down the inside there when the inside is blocked. I think Masquerader highly welcomes it, because then no one's getting past when they're just trying to overtake in parts of the circuit that are blocked, obviously. Sad to already being down to 19 drivers from the 20 we had. Losing Cherry already in lap 1 and turn 3. Also having the first penalty of the race already. Justin in 8th gets the first track limit penalty. Ref against Masquerader. Try staying behind on the marker. And now a little bit of a bad exit that gives Masquerader the chance to cover the inside, which he doesn't do. Further back, we have Mishko against RD. Quite a close battle. Down in 9th because Juno re-overtook Justin. And they're side by side in the infield. Probably better end for the Mercedes yet again. The front group still there. Next try. Mishko is also trying. So here we have Raf going for the lead, locking up. And here we have Mishko against RD Gamer and Protohype starting to get involved. Big lockup from Kira up ahead. And here we have Masquerader retaking the lead as well. With Protohype actually being the laughing third from the two battling ahead of him. Wow. First 6 laps of the race, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a battle all around. With a lap time of only barely over a minute, we'll have enough battles for all of the 36 laps, by the looks of it. Nothing happens here. Zippy being the second driver who's getting a penalty here today. We do have a yellow flag. I think that's Gap Reaper. Here we have Prototype against Kimirai. Already gonna start seeing some blue flags soon. Prototype in 5th. to be sitting rather comfy. The first Alpine says, I don't want to be here anymore. You guys have fun. And it is Ref. Kind of left right out of your S, depending where he was. He goes on heights. That's already all we wanted to see. Raid does not have the wing open. Oh, already getting slightly argy-bargy there. The Justin Juno battle heating up yet again. Pockets got by of the two fighters. The Williams, Mark Crawford against our rookie. Scraping 4 points. Oh, there's a collision! Raid and Kimi Rai, or did Raid do it by himself? It looks really odd for there to be a collision around turn 9 and 10. You just looked in the onboard and suddenly there was a parked Alpine. And suddenly, the leading battle is Kimi Rai against Prototype. Meanwhile, we have RD against Mishko up behind. Prototype goes for the lead. Mishko goes for third. Mishko blocks up. And Prototype goes up into the lead on the hard tires. Kimi Rai obviously still being on the mediums, going one lap longer than most by the looks of it. Juno and Mark Crawford also being on the mediums. Now Kimi Rai pits. And look what's happening here. Justin, all the way up in 5th place now, hunting down the Racing Bull of Pockets, who finds himself in 4th. What's he doing there? Easy target for Justin. And here we have Masquerader against Ref, who undercut him. Wow! Risky but beautiful move. Here we have Zeppi against Spooderman. We also keep changing positions, and Ray seemingly saying, okay, I'll just pass both of you, thank you very much. Spooderman, Zeppi, huge lockup. Spooderman goes through. Masquerader with the fastest lap. Pockets. Not ERS dumping. He's just training the Mercedes now. Justin obviously also still having that 3-second time penalty moving around with him. In 11th, Spooderman still hunting the Ferrari of Zeppi ahead of him. Alexander Leclerc with the next penalty. Prototype getting some lead laps in for the McLaren team. as they slowly start to enter the territory of lapping other cars. Oh, Mishko from a long way back locks up. That move wasn't quite on. But he's definitely showing that he's there. Now the gap got a bit bigger. Mishko fully charged his battery. We have a yellow flag in sector 3. It was just a Haas pitting. Yeah, that was just both Haas pitting again. Ref hunting down Masquerader. You know, Raid's in the pits again. And gets a new front wing. Zeppi. Ref is all the way down in 15th, even behind Thunder. Oh, Mishko doesn't get the corner. Brings RD a good chunk closer. Meanwhile, Justin in the pits, getting the medium tires on. Retrospect with another warning. And RD Gamer going for the lead. Side by side with Mishko. Who uses the outside line to his advantage. We always see pockets by the looks of it entering the pits. Ref, that was close. That looked really close. Proto. They're all dumping. RD already stopped, making himself vulnerable to Proto Hype's move. The McLaren moving up into second place. So have a little look at Raid, how he is doing with his second set of hearts against Thunder, who's a medium. And has a broken end plate. The Alpine moves up into 14th place. Tire age. It looks like everybody pitted. Except the top 3. But the tire wear does definitely show it. Does that be the next round of penalties? Here we have penalties and warnings. Does that be Thunder and Cherry? Well, Cherry obviously. Here we have the gainers and losers of technically the first 16 laps. Biggest gainer who already pitted is iHeart. He's currently in 7th. The biggest loser rate always already with 2 pit stops. All the way down in 14th, losing 10 positions. And now back to the action at hand. Prototype hunting down Mishko. With how they're handling the battery in a race like Austria already makes me kind of excited for Season 15, which might get hosted in the new game when it arrives. Or in the new DLC, rather. Considering the DLC does include the fighting with the battery. Now, will we have a change for the lead? We will already at turn 1. Proto goes wide. And they're both not having DRS. Proto going down the inside in turn 3. Now does have DRS, goes down the inside in turn 4, big lockup. Does he go through into the lead? The answer is seemingly no. The switchback though. He does go into the lead. Real quick to look at Mark Crawford, who's hunting down Zeppi. And goes by Zeppi. With Raid and Ref coming behind them. Right, there he is. Took him a little bit. Here we have the battle for the lead again because Mishka goes by Prototype again. Are they trying a one-stop? They are. Well, these two, certainly not. Pockets and Juno in the battle for 8th. Get a flag somewhere that's has parked. That's retro. Here we have Justin battling iHeart for 6th. No breathing space. But turn 4 raids. iHeart harvesting energy and Justin going on. This is a great race. We are already nearly 2/3 through this race. Where did Prototype go? Prototype is all the way down in 5th. the way down in 6th now. How did that happen? Down in 7th. What's going on? There are no M plates. There are no M plates on the front wing of that McLaren. That's what's going on. There was a collision involving Prototype that we didn't see. See the next overtake though. But look at our rookie getting overtaken by the hunting Alpine of Ref. Now we look at the hunting Bull. And Masquerader, who caught up to the leading group. RD is pitting because he has a puncture. There is a puncture on that Red Bull. And he pits on intermediates. Is something happening that we don't know? Or did RD just flare the race? Is that why they're going so long at the front? Because there's rain expected. Keep me right. Hunting down both Aston Martins. The question is, how are Mishko's tires doing? It started raining. There's the rain. The rain has arrived on the A1 ring. Or Red Bull ring. I keep changing the names. The tire age of Mishko. Here we see the tire wear. Masquerader also big in the numbers. Kimirai. Prototype. That's also why Prototype isn't pitting. And suddenly there was rain. iHeart also pitted for Inters. Prototype pitting for Inters. Now this is interesting because the Astons can't double stack. They're too close together. You know, we also don't know how good are Mishko's tires even still. Because they look done. Just look at those rear tires. It's not even a pickup. Because we see him driving over the ideal line. There is no pickup on that Aston tire. Meanwhile, Kimirai entered the pit lane. That's gonna be the stop for Inters, isn't it? Justin also in the pits. Bucket's the same, Juno the same. RD drives by all of them now. Or maybe not. Depends how fast Kimirai can leave the pit lane. Nose to tail with the sister car. Red Bull against V-Car. DRS still activated. And that gives RD Gamer third place in this instance. What I'm still really curious about is how these tires are doing. Not even showing that much battling right now. Rate passing pockets. These tires, they are done. You can hear the acceleration of the Aston Martin. And now he finally enters the pit lane. And he slides wide. I don't know if that's something that the stewards decided to look at this race or not. But Mishko is in the pits, and so is Masquerader, and that is gonna screw Mishko at least a little bit. Yep. He is gonna lose out. And they're both losing out to RD Gamer and Kimirai. RD Gamer, the new leader in the Austrian Grand Prix. Kimirai up the rear ring. Masquerader managing to come out in third. Mishko diving eye hard for 5th place. And Juno in 8th, hunting down pockets. And Zeppi against Thunder, who is still on dry tires. Probably trying out a social experiment now. Zeppi moves up into 14th place. And these two. The puncture RD had seemed to be the perfect moment, at least by the looks we have right now. Retro next penalty, and Kimirai might be doing the same thing they did in Singapore, and this is the waiting game. Mishko. And here we have a raid. Side by side with the Williams. And now, not side by side anymore, but past the Williams. Obviously, you still have to think back to what happened when we saw Raid sideways in the last section of corners. And Ref is hunting down the two McLarens. Thunder finally entered the pits. The social experiment is over. And we have 10 laps remaining in this amazing race. We see the difference. The rain has truly arrived yet again over the Red Bull Ring. Meanwhile, these two are side by side. Kimirai against RD Gamer. Kimirai goes by for the lead. And now they need to escape the Aston, who's creeping up behind. Creeping up behind is also Proto behind Juno with Ref in his pocket. Proto has gone by. Juno now seemingly with the hopeful defense against Ref to give his teammate a little bit of breathing space. You see it? 9 laps to go. By now, everybody in the scoreboard has an exclamation mark, but not everybody has a penalty yet. We have Justin, Ref, Mark Crawford, Zeppi, Gap Reaper, and the 2 Haswell time penalties only so far. Now we also have Dragon with a time penalty. And Juno is doing exactly what's expected of him, I think. Holding up the Alpine and helping his teammate escape. I don't exactly have the points tally in my head right now, but this race is also huge for the constructors and I think also Not so huge, but relevant for the Drivers' Championship. But both Racing Bulls and Red Bull and Aston Martin are gonna catch up on Alpine. Ah, that is risky. I don't think Ref wanted to play any longer. Proto against Pockets. We have these two side by side. Masquerader against RD. With the worst end for the Red Bull driver. And here we have Proto Hype's overtake against Pockets. The field is spread apart a good bit further, but what a race this has been so far. With around about 7 laps remaining. We're in the lead. Around 3 seconds ahead of Masquerader and RD Gamer. With Justin, who is hunted down by Mishko. Oh, Ref, that is really late on the brakes. Oh yeah, that's nearly a wall. Probably didn't expect Pockets to break where he broke. Could have been quite the incident for Ref Lenze. Who has to wait another lap now to hunt down the Racing Bull. Another slide over the rear axle. He's definitely at his limit. Closing up again. Obviously needs to pass and move away with his penalty. If he can do that, we'll find out. It's wiggling. Sliding over the sausage curb. Screechy lockup sounds. Niche goes by just But these two are quite the battle. Ref against Pockets. Retro next time penalty. Five laps to go. And the ref is behind. Oh, and Pockets loses the rear and ref is in the grass. That was close. Nothing really the Racing Bull could have done. He lost the rear as well. And then Ref with his aggressive setup. We see him here sliding already again. Lost the car in sympathy. Pockets is fighting for this 8th spot. And he's fighting it till death. Both all beats behind him now. And Gina, who wants to stay in the points. Round about 4 laps remaining for this guy. Barely lost something of his lead. 2.5 seconds. 4 laps to go. And now we go back to Ref, who's back up against Pockets yet again. Proto hype. 3-second time penalty. Ah, Proto. Not Proto. Ref nearly losing it again. Right against the McLaren. Switchback by the Alpine driver. Oh, there's a touch on the straight. Guys. You know, down in 11th. If the battle continues like it is, you will get a point. Because the ref still has a penalty. And he still hasn't found a way past the Racing Bull in 8th. Raid also has a penalty now. Oh, wow. Oh, Pockets goes wide. Ref nearly loses the car. Ref around the outside, gets no breathing space there. Meanwhile, we also have Mishko hunting down RD Gamer for the podium. But this four-way battle clearly deserves the attention it has. Ref yet again going wide. Now his teammate tries. We'll look at the battle for third for a second. We go back here. There was a yellow flag. Is that Ref? That is Ref. Ref spun out. In turn 8. And there was contact there. He's missing an end plate. Meanwhile, RD Gamer tries to get third back from Mishko. That's a lot of scrubbling. And there's a touch. Mishko wants that double Aston Martin podium. There's another yellow flag that seems to be Ref again. We're already in the last lap. Here we have Mishko diving into the inside of turn 1. The cars are still side by side. Of deploying energy, and there's contact. The Haas nicely going out of the way. And RD needs to let Mishko back by. And the one who does not care about anything that's going on around behind him driving a fantastic race and already celebrating before it even goes into the last two right-handers. The Alpines flopped and he came out victorious. Kimi Rai wins the Grand Prix of Austria. Masquerader second. Miško completes the double podium. And now this window goes all the way in my face. Now let's really quick move up into the screen so we can actually see a few more people going across the line. Ref fought hard, fought great, but in the end it's just 11th. Dragon, great debut in 11th. Ref we already talked about. Mark Crawford, comeback drive or only a one-time thing. 13th. Seppi and Gab Reaper. Ferrari certainly struggled here today, but it's a unifying way to end it across the line. 14th and 17th. What a race this was. And what a race this certainly was. For not one Alpine to stand on the podium here today. I will already wish you guys a fantastic Sunday, because I will need to get out of this commentary box with the heat there currently is and the humidity we have in early summer. But that won't stop those two teams certainly celebrating today. You have what Codemaster or EA decides to have. Looking through, Kimi Rai Masquerader, Miško, the podium, RD, Justin, great drive. iHeart Prototype, Raid gets some points, Pockets gets points, Juno with the last one. Dragon on debut, Ref, Mark Crawford, Zeppi, Spooderman, Thunder, Gab Reaper, Retrospect, Leclerc, Cherry, sadly only managed one lap with us. I wish you guys a great rest of your Sunday. We'll see each other next week with round 10.